All right, we're back. John?
Yes, it is time. Time to go to work, troopers. Get off your lazy asses.
Yeah.
He says, sipping his coffee.
Go down in the war mines and mine some more.
That's right. So we cut away from you guys shaking hands and getting to know Pasternak. Although it looked like the sergeant was kind of checked out, not really like palling around with the guys there. And you get an alert. Mm-hmm. You get a
that's Goodman's job.
Yeah.
So why I have one.
That is. Young. So the door from your bunks to the rest of the ship is supposed to be kept closed and locked at all times. Do you keep it that way or not?
Probably. Actually, that's one of the few regs I actually follow meaningfully. Largely because I learned previously from my previous officer that if you don't, you can get in trouble.
You can, unless you do something sneaky, which you're not. You're not doing anything sneaky. You're following regs. So the light over the door goes from green to amber, and all the lights in the room, like the ones that are still working, there's like half of them still work. They also switch to this amber color, so everyone kind of knows, like, okay, if you're wearing, say, nothing at all, or your off-duty approved brigade shorts or whatever, it's time to like put on your uniform. Essentially, you have two different uniforms. You have a shipboard like onesie jumpsuit thing, and then you have your planetary assault uniform, which is like the Under Armour of your armor suit, kind of a spandexy temperature control kind of thing. Yeah, supposed to keep you cool or keep you warm or whatever. But it's like it's got a printed lapel on it, and it has printed sleeve lines, and it's like weirdly like made to look like a uniform, even though it's this weird bodysuit. But on board ship, you just wear like a jumpsuit with your rank and your serial number on it. So everyone gets dressed, I assume. Oh God, Goodman, are you?
Yes, yo.
How much of an oddball are you really? Okay, good. And then after a few minutes, like it takes a well-trained trooper 1 minute to get themselves ready. So about like 50 seconds after the amber light comes on, it switches to green and the door cycles, and it unlocks, but you got to go like turn the wheel and open it up. And there are lights built into the ship at the top and bottom corners where the deck meets, and they turn, the ones that are working turn on, and they like show a path on the floor for where you're supposed to go. You don't get called or anything like that. This is just normal. Some guy somewhere like hit a button to activate your room, and it's leading you to the briefing. They don't tell you it's a briefing and stuff, because why bother? You know what you're, and it doesn't even matter, right? The order is follow these lights wherever they lead you for any reason at any time. So we see you guys heading off down the hallway, and next to you, you're in a little like hexagonal node in the ship, and there are other bunk rooms in that section. And you hear all of their doors go clonk and unlock, but no, they don't open. Nobody comes out. It's just you, three of you.
How long
are the doors open, but there's nobody coming out, or are they doors
they
not
unlock open? Yeah, they unlock, but nobody opens them. Is anybody gonna mess with that, or should we just go to the briefing?
Do we? No. I mean, I feel like Pasternak does that, though, right? Like, does the?
It's up to you, Morgan.
Right.
If you're curious, then
yeah.
I'm more curious if like there is anybody else, or if it's just the three of us.
You can poke your head in. Yeah.
We fought with other people. I think I'm gonna let Morgan do his thing, but I think that as this is like a practiced motion, almost as if like I do it on the regular, but I literally walk by and like I just hit each of the doors that actually has the green light above it, and I'm like, rise and shine, assholes! You know the regs. And then I head towards like whatever the lighting path is.
Right. I'm just like right behind you, and like I'll like drum on top of like a low handing like beam as we go by, and it's just Like, I'm just ready to go to the briefing. Like, I'm not worried about anybody else coming. I'm like in my own little zone, just following you.
So I'll hang back and check to see if there's see if there's anybody in those places.
Yeah, you can like just spin the wheel on the door and poke your head in real quick.
Yeah.
No, there's no one in there. The bunks are still there. There's stuff on the table. Someone's Mr. Terra pinup poster or whatever is like still like taped to the top of their bunk, and it looks like it would normally look. But yeah, it's
actually,
is there armor in the cryo chambers?
Yeah, make an NFA test. Let's start with the NFA test, Morgan.
All right.
We're making rolls on the way to the briefing.
Let's actually do this game thing.
Yeah, so you're gonna roll 1d10, and your NFA is 4, so you need a 4 or less to succeed.
Nice. I rolled a 1.
Nice.
Got it.
So just for the people at home, I'm gonna try to be a little like transparent about what we're doing, because 316 it's very simple, but there's all these kind of nuances to how you use the system. So I'm gonna maybe be a little wordy at the beginning here to kind of like let you guys understand what's going on. So it is just a pass-fail system the way it's set up by default. If there was an opposition here of some kind, for instance, if Morgan wanted to do this surreptitiously so the sergeant didn't notice while he poked his head in, they would both roll NFA. A winner wins, loser loses, or the highest success would win. So it'd be like an opposed roll kind of thing. So that's 2 different rolls. There's like a simple pass-fail like this. There's an opposed roll where 2 people, or you can roll for other stuff. Like I might roll the difficulty roll for like a cliff face or something if they were climbing. That I would give it a number, like a difficulty number or something. So that's an option. But also importantly, what the stakes are and what the role is for is really important in this game, because you have to dial it gives you all those tools that other RPG systems give you mechanics for. You just have to use this one mechanic to get there. So there could be a case where you automatically do the thing you're trying, but the role determines whether or not you suffer a consequence, or there's all those little like nuances to it. So we'll get into those more as we go. But in this case, like just looking around a room and seeing what's there that's easy. Like, why would you roll for that?
Just checking to see if there was trooper armor, right?
Yeah, actually checking on the trooper armor, and because you succeeded here, that each room, each bunk room has a camera mounted over the door, like a black sphere security camera thing. But there's a place you can stand in the room that just isn't covered. There's a blind spot right by the door, kind of off to the side slightly. It's a defect of the system. No one cares that exists. No one's ever fixed it. So you get to this for free. Like you don't get in trouble. You're not on video anywhere, not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, you're able to stand in the right place and peek. The armor lockers are dark, and it takes a second. You have to kind of like peer without walking into the view of the camera. And you can see that they're empty. They are empty. They're turned off. There's no armor in the racks.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, head back out to the hallway and follow the lights.
All right. So you kind of catch up. Well, I don't know. Do you wait? Do you just stand there with Goodman and wait, or you keep going?
Nope.
All right. So Pasternak like comes catching up to you guys. What do you say, Sergeant?
I don't actually. I assume that he's going to be there and he's going to be on time, and we're not at the briefing yet, and he's not late, so there's no need for discipline. And I think I'm again. I have this odd gait because I think Young is taller, almost like head and shoulders taller than the rest, and like I said, like long spindly limbs. So I've got kind of a longer step, and I just assume that he'll be there, or we'll deal with it later. So
do you say anything, Pasternak? Do you try to cover, or do you just like let it go?
I just let it go.
Okay.
Cool.
But I'm gonna ask Goodman, like, as we're walking.
Yeah.
You guys usually get called as just one squad?
I think I don't think I answer you honestly. I think I just cryptically just mentioned, I go, the fewer men, the greater share of honor, man. And I just keep walking.
All right.
Like he's like, what? Yeah.
All right, nice. So that on that line, we cut to the briefing. It's so each of these hexagonal like bunk nodes, there's like 6 of those that spindle out from a central hub on the ship, and that hub contains the sort of community mess, a larger table for each bunk section to come and like eat together. The middle of that is this hexagonal. It's like a bar, kind of. You could think of it like a bar top, and then where the drinks and stuff will be behind that. There are some food processing units and serving equipment, but also one of the faces of the hexagon there is a display screen, and the bar top in front of that has 2 sort of command chairs for the lieutenant in this case, and sometimes there's another officer there. And you guys are supposed to come in, and after mess or whoever has like patrol or MP duty or whatever, you rearrange the tables and chairs for the next briefing. So all the chairs have been moved into that one sector of the hexagon facing that side in a nice orderly fashion. Well, normally they are. In this case, everything is how it usually is. The tables are where in eating position, all the chairs are where they would normally be when you're eating. But you see the lieutenant sitting there in front of the briefing screen, and there are a few other people in the room. Everything is very dark. You know how in Alien, like the bridge of the ship is just pitch dark everywhere, and everyone has these little horrible green CRT screens and stuff, and it's like that. Like the whole ceiling is just dark. The whole room is dark pretty much, except for the lights from the equipment. To low power mode, essentially. The ship is always in a kind of low power state to conserve resources. Or maybe they don't even have lights. You don't know. But you can see as you come in, no one else is coming in from the other like pods of the thing. Their connector doors are closed. The one for your section is open. So they haven't even invited them. The lights on the floor lead you into this room, and seated at there's a table that happens to be in front of the briefing screen right now, an eating table. And there are 3 guys, 2 guys and a woman sitting around this table. They're also wearing jumpsuits. You guys have they're sort of like a navy blue jumpsuit. They have your unit designation and your serial number and stuff on them. These people are wearing really dark gray jumpsuits, which you've never seen before. The like shipboard sort of naval. Everyone's in the brigade together, but what we would consider sort of the naval people who fly the ships and command the ships and stuff. They generally wear red. They have like not bright red, but like a dark red,
a crimson-y.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But these guys are wearing gray. They don't have insignia. They don't have any designations of any kind. They're scruffy looking. They're not like well kempt. They're one guy has a beard that's kind of super scraggly, way worse than yours, Goodman.
Wow.
They're tan, like they've been exposed to alien sunlight on multiple worlds. They've got crinkles next to their eyes. They're aging. The woman has a gray streak in her hair, and she's very dark skinned, and both the other 2 guys are kind of like fair European-y looking types. But they're just sitting there, elbows on the table, hunched over. One of them has a ball, and one of them has the corresponding mitt, and the guy with the ball is like rolling it lazily down the length of the table, and the other guy's like letting it fall off and catching it in the mitt and then rolling it back. So as you come in, you hear this like baseball on a steel table, like da-da-da-da-da-da-donk.
Yeah.
and no one else is here. So you go over to the thing, right? And there's kind of nowhere to sit except next to whoever these yahoos are, unless you want to do something else. They don't get up. They don't really pay any attention to you. They kind of act like you're not there. What do you want to do, Sarge?
Are they showing higher insignia than us?
They have no insignia.
They have no insignia at all.
And are the briefings usually conducted at these tables, or are they like transmitted via screen?
Usually the screen is behind the lieutenant who's at the bar, and then usually the tables are moved out and everyone puts the chairs in so the platoon can all sit together.
They are in Trooper Gray though, right? So
yeah,
they are troopers, right? Cool.
I guess.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. So I probably sit down and I probably who's the one with the mitt? Just one of the European guys?
Yeah, the guy with the beard.
All right, yeah, I asked the beard guy. I'd be after the. Do you want to bet your combat drugs on a kills? On a kill score? I just sit down. That's the first thing I say to him.
He like pauses for a second as the ball like comes rolling across. He catches it and he turns and looks at you and he hands you the ball.
Yeah. He hands me. Wait, he doesn't say anything. Just hands me the ball.
He gives you the ball and he kind of looks at you like,
"Hey man, do you speak?"
So the lieutenant
better know, man. Do you want like? Are we doing this thing or not?
He's looking at you with this really like douchey expression, and the lieutenant is sitting there. He's like messing with the computer. On the bar. It's got like a keyboard like built into the surface of the thing, and there's dials and things. And he's like, all right, enough of that. All right, listen up. So you look up and you see Lieutenant Miller. He looks like, he's like 30. You don't know how old he really is. He's kind of vaguely Mediterranean, I guess, his Terran stock. He has close cropped hair, like the high and tight buzz cut. He's seen a lot of shit. You guys know his reputation. He is a killer. He has thousands of kills, and probably should be higher rank than he is. But don't know why that is. But he's a lieutenant. He's the commander of your platoon. There should be at least 3 other sergeants and their squads here, but it's just the 3 of you guys.
So
like bare bones. I think I just say is looking a little bare bones there, LT. We lose someone.
He's like focused on getting this stupid thing to work. You can tell that he's like hit a dial and it like has brought up like welcome to the brigade. Trooper, and like there's no sound, but he's like it's the wrong file, and he's just like this happens so much, shit doesn't work right. So he's trying to get the right planet, and when you say that, he has a moment where he like looks up at you very sharply. And then goes back to like as if he obviously heard you. Yeah. But he just kind of like gives you this hard look and then goes back to getting the briefing up.
Can I reach over and like flick the right sequence of switches?
Good.
Like whatever he forgot.
Oh, you wanna like fix it?
Yeah.
I was gonna eyeball you to do that without saying anything. I'm like, just go over there and do the thing. So
you can easily do that. If you want to do it in a way that isn't embarrassing for him, then you need to roll NFA.
Yeah, I do. That's what I'm for.
Yeah. So how do you do it in a way that isn't like move? I know how to use this. Like how do you...
I think I just walk up to him as if we're having a conversation, even though he's fiddling with it and stoutly ignoring me. And I'm going to shield what I'm doing with my body so that it's not obvious to everyone like what I'm doing. But I'm gonna like turn off the like one safety lock and like let him actually his ID actually go through or like whatever. And I just do it very quickly, and then I like just lean slightly so that I catch his eyes, and I'm just like about my question, but I do it quietly, right? Like obviously, like So
so under his breath, like because he realizes what you've done and that you've made it. You did it in a way that didn't make him look like an idiot. So he's like, yeah, okay, I know. Look, we just got to make do. All right, I can't talk about it. Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Sergeant, why don't you take your seat?
I totally grab a chair, drag it with some noise across the ground, and then Riker it at the head of the table.
Nice. Riker style.
Yeah.
The Riker maneuver.
Yeah, you turn around, you sit on it the wrong way.
Yeah.
You gotta bring your leg over the back.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
It's the key move.
And I'm extra spindly and tall, so this works.
It's super easy for you. You don't even have, you just like barely raise your leg. Spacer stock or whatever you are. So the display behind him, it's this like amber CRT scanner kind of. It's like if they had big screen CRTs in the 70s, that's what this would be. It's like 6 feet high and 6 feet wide, and it gives you this like spindly tracing contour map with a grid and a bunch of numbers flying around. And Pasternak, you immediately recognize this valley on Daisy, Valley 4 is what it's called, and that's where that's where you lost your legs. So you'll probably always remember Valley 4 on Daisy, and it's a topographical display of that valley. Not a satellite feed, like a live feed or anything like that. It's like a computer model, and you see there's a dot that says FOB 1709, which is the operating base where you were stationed. So you know that right away. This briefing is about your previous mission. The lieutenant says, he says this a lot. He says, "Congratulations, troopers. It's time for you to earn your pay in service of Terra." He always says it with this mixture of like, I'm so tired of saying this, and also you should be honored that you have this opportunity to go and die for Terra. It's like both. He takes it seriously. He's not being ironic.
He's a believer.
He is kind of a believer, yeah.
I'm just silently playing air drums while he's doing it.
What'd you do with the ball?
Oh, I gave the ball back to him.
Or you just handed it back to him?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I examined it. Is there anything weird about the ball?
It's old.
Oh.
It's all worn and the seams are coming apart and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want this
dirty.
shit.
It's very dirty.
I don't want this dirty shit. I'm giving it back to him.
All right, you hand it back to him.
Yeah.
He seems really disappointed with you when you do that. He's just like whatever, man. It's really strange. Like he has this really bizarre reaction. Anyway, the lieutenant says it's vital to the brigade's mission on Daisy that we reestablish our presence in Valley 4. We already have a foothold here in forward operating base 1709. There is already we've already deployed material, and there's like a number next to it that says like 61%, which is like you know what that means, Pasternak. You saw 40% of the base get destroyed, but he says we've already successfully completed 61% of the base, and it falls on you. And what's your guys' designation, by the way? Are you like Squad 11, or do you have like a cool nickname or anything yet, or has that not happened yet?
How do you guys feel about something like Baker Squad? And Baker originally formed the squad, but he died like ages ago. Nobody even remembers.
I mean, we could do something like Baker. Yeah, I mean, obviously there should be some sort of alliteration if we want to do Starship Troopers style, right? Like Razak's Roughnecks. So like Baker's what?
Badasses?
Badasses, yeah. Baker's Butchers? Well, that seems weird.
Not really. Not for this game.
I actually like that.
Baker's Butchers?
I meant like Baker's Butchers Candlestick Makers.
Yeah.
Is what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah,
Like,
Butchers,
Baker's
Bakers,
Butchers.
Candlestick.
Yeah. Oh, that's the other way around. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I bet the Butchers is good. That's people probably
Yeah.
call you that, Butchers. Yeah, so he and the lieutenant uses it. It's good for esprit de corps, right? So he says he says the completion and successful securing of this base falls on you, the butchers. And normally there's like a platoon here, and like he wouldn't necessarily call out your squad individually. He would call out the platoon, and people would react. He's like getting you pumped up. Falls on you, platoon, and people are like, yeah. But he just says it falls on you, butchers, and he says it with that. He's like slightly too loud in this mostly empty room, and he pauses a beat. Does anyone react, or is it just quiet, just crickets?
I'm still like in my head. I'm like my eyes are closed. I'm like.
I think there's a moment where I know that people are supposed to react, and I don't react, but I look at everyone else like, why are you not reacting?
Yeah.
Hoorah.
But you look at me. I get your expression. I don't do that. I just like the fun part's already done, man. Like 61%. This is easy, you know.
So Pasternak's the only one. Quietly, hoorah. And one of the
I got the look, you know.
one of the gray uniform, actually the woman, she's kind of sitting next to you. When you do that, she looks at you. She gives you this really hard look. She's like reading you. Like, are you? What vibe are you giving off? Are you being flippant? Are you being genuine?
I'm being flippant because this is bullshit, right? I mean, I've been there. This is crap, and also, yeah. Where's everyone else? Because this is hardly what we need if we're going to esprit de corps and kick some ass and take some names.
So it's a sarcastic hoorah.
Yeah, well, I was told to, right? I was given a very keen eye.
Yes, exactly.
So being a good trooper that I am. So
she gives you that look and kind of, she can see maybe your tattoos, your rolled up sleeves or something, and sees your reaction, and she kind of goes, she nods, and she looks at the bearded guy, and he's like maybe, like that's his reaction. So the lieutenant, he runs down, the rest of it is just like military bullshit, right? We don't have to play all that out. He gives you all the engagement time, and this is when you need to show up for your drop, and it's the normal loadout. The complement will be 3 members of the platoon, and it would normally say like 36 or whatever. And it's all just like by the numbers. He treats it completely straight.
Is he are these 3 gray suited folks getting at it, or are they not?
No, it seems like they're not on the mission. No.
Is there like a kill count in here, John, for that lists everything?
Yeah, you can. Like, since the tables are all still, I mean, we could say that like
is there like a leaderboard above the food?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
Is it working?
It's not currently on.
Augmented reality, just for kills.
It would be easy to. I mean, fuck it. Yeah, sure, it can be on. Whatever. That's fine. It doesn't have to be off. Yeah, it's on. Yeah.
Do we see the sergeant's kills?
No, it's by squad group. Like, you could maybe figure it out.
Oh, so it's okay. So it's set up to another squad somewhere. It's not to our squad.
Well, it shows all the squads, but it's like the kill count of the squad like ever. So you guys, what your individual kills are, but you don't. It's hard. You could figure it out with some computer digging. You could like subtract everyone's and learn what the Sergeant's kills were.
No,
but just looking at it, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's close enough for me. Whatever.
Yeah.
As long as the butch. Yeah.
What place what place would you expect to be in? You may or may not be in that place, but like when you scan the board, Goodman, what do you think that your squad would be?
We're like first. No. I think unfortunately, much to my chagrin, I think we're like a really solid third. I feel like the first 2 squads are just like, we might be in. They're like an exponent, like a full exponential, like or exponent higher than us. And
Yeah.
it's just like I don't think we've ever seen these squads.
I think this is like when you buy a game and you like get a little bit good at it. And you're like, oh, I've got like 2,000
Yeah.
points. You check the leaderboards and they're like 20,000. You're like,
Yeah, and you're like, what the
that thing.
Yeah.
like
Well, then
I mean,
then
it's like
there-
pinball. You're like, how did you get 600 million? What the
the actual top score is just all 9s, and you're like, oh, you're just hacking. Like that's
Yeah.
not even.
Yeah. Oh my God. There's totally was some
Somebody-
kind of like Joker. Who,
Someone
who,
hacked
who
their
hacked
someone
it
hacked their kill counter. Yeah, of
and just
course.
made it 69, 69, 69, 69, 69, 69.
Yeah. And it's always
Nice.
ass squad. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So messed up.
Yeah.
So at the very end, he finishes the normal briefing, and he's like, no, sorry, that doesn't happen here. Yeah, the briefing ends, the lights turn back, going back to your bunks. You're supposed to go back, suit up, and get ready. So you do, and we see as you guys leave, Goodman, that the bearded guy, he like whistles as you're like heading towards the other side of the room. He's like, and when you turn, like the ball is already in the air. It's like it's coming right at you.
Of course I catch it. Right.
Roll.
Of course I'm gonna catch it. NFA.
That's NFA. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
Actually,
no, it's right.
yeah, it is NFA. Yeah.
Would it be FA if I was to like hit it with something? I don't know. I'm just rolling FA.
No,
fine.
it's NFA. It's NFA.
Oh, I fail.
Nice.
So do I miss it? Does it hit me?
Yeah, it hits you. It hits you in the face. Just bang, baseball to the face. It drops to the floor, rolls around.
Yeah. As I'm like holding my eye, I'd be like, "What the fuck?" I grab the ball and I throw it back at him.
Okay.
Whistle, making an imitating whistle, right? So is that F? Am I rolling? I'm not trying for him to catch it. I'm trying to hit him.
I'm rolling
as
for
we're
him.
leaving.
He
Okay.
catches it.
Okay.
He succeeds with an 8.
Yeah.
So yeah, he
Shake
goes,
my
"Duke."
head.
He plucks it out of the air,
Yeah.
and like they go back and they're like talking to each other.
Yeah.
So you guys go back to your quarters. When you come in, the lights on the armor racks are green. The ice crystals are gone. It's like sealed. A seal has been established. You open it. The armor is on this like rail system, and also a swing arm. It's kind of heavy, so it supports the weight of the armor. You haul it out, and then you like get in it on the rail, and then you get inside the locker with the armor on. That's the procedure. Before you do that, though, when you come in, there's a box on the table. This like medical device. It's a trapezoidal white box. It's about yay long, yay high. It has a cylindrical tube inside it, and these adjustment bar strappy things on the top. It's clearly meant to put your arm in. You used these before. It's an injector module, and it has a little display on the side that shows how many like charges have been loaded into it. And you can see in the back, if you actually kind of peek around, there's a space for 6 transparent like injector tubes. 3 have been loaded in, and they're filled with just dark fluid. And somebody has just written on a piece of tape that says like one per trooper, and like has stuck it to the front of the injector.
Okay. So it's kind of like the Terran Gamja bar.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Combat drugs.
How hard is it? Yeah. How hard is it to take 2, John?
So this could be combat drugs. It might be. Normally your combat drugs are in your armor.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
hard is it to take 2? You put your arm in twice, I guess.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think I will do that. And well, hold on. First question: does our sergeant go first? Like, what is our order of doing this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I do, and you know that this fact.
We do it by
about me-
rank. Yeah.
Actually, it's not that. It's the fact that the sergeant may be the single most efficient person at getting into armor that you've ever seen.
Oh.
So like I am done and at the table before like you guys have your shorts off and like started putting on your like the zippies that you actually wear into the armor.
Yeah. Well, I
so
think. Okay.
I think I look at it. I shrug. I shove my arm in.
All right. You put your arm in. It whirs. The things go and like tighten down. And it goes, and one of the 3 like charge lights goes off. It's been expended.
Yeah.
You feel like you're being injected with a needle in your arm, and then it like sits there for a second and it goes whirr. And Eric, you can see on the back like one of the empty tubes like is filling up with blood, and it fills its little capsule, and then it goes ding, and the thing goes chunk and lets your arm go.
I even though it's clearly not injecting me, it's extracting. I look at the other two.
It injects you, and then it extracts your blood, and then it injects you. Sorry.
Sounds great. Yeah. I turn around and I say, "Time to take your vitamins," and I'm putting my armor on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who's next?
I am, and I want to go twice because this is the breakfast of champions. So. Okay. And so I do it, and I'm like, sorry,
there are There are only 2 more. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Pasternak. You were cool. Are you cool with that?
No,
I do the first one, and I start getting set up to do the second one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You put your arm in. It extracts your blood. It injects you. It goes dong.
Yeah.
And it sits there and doesn't do anything. You pull your arm out, and then you're about to put it back in.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you do, Pasternak?
What do you think you're doing there?
What, man? I'm gonna put my arm back in unless you like physically restrain me, like you grab my arm.
I will.
Yeah. Okay, I mean I let you, and I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
What are you doing? Corporal?
Look, man. Look, I always take 2. It's just how it's always been.
And what happens when there's none for me, or when they ask me why I didn't take it? What then?
Dude, no one asks that stuff. Don't worry about it. I don't know what it was like in your other troop, but no one asked that stuff. Our sergeant, they cover you. Don't worry about it. I'm lying to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, it's all the same.
I roll my eyes. I'm like, fine. Man, I'm gonna be hungry. Do you want to see Goodman ornery this whole trip? Or I'm already only doing 39% of the work now instead of the 61. Those lucky fuckers who got to do the 61% here. Man, I was like, I just shake my head and I walk away with my power armor. It's like, man, 61. Man, 39%? Really? That's what we got to do? It's
39 if you want to just go to like the minimum.
Yeah.
Like obviously more 100% is the minimum that you should establish. That's
we can
be more than that probably.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's 3 of you. Come on.
All
right. So Pasternak gets his shot. And into the suits you go. The lockers, you swing back on the rail. It clicks in. Your suit does this like test when it starts up to make sure everything's sealed and working properly.
It's every FPS tutorial mission, right, John? It's like, look around. Use the thumbstick to go up and down, jump.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Heads-up display in the bottom right-hand corner.
That's right. The vac seals above and below you like disconnect and slide away, and then we see the 3 suits like get taken down through these chutes. And Lucille's dropship somewhere else in the ship. It's hard to like the artificial gravity is weird, right? It feels like you're going down, but you might be going up or whatever. You go somewhere on these rails. You've all done this a lot. They're very high speed. It's like being shot out of a cannon, kind of. Sometimes they lead to open space, and you get like ejected for an EVA mission or something. Sometimes they lead to a drop pod. Sometimes they lead to a drop ship, like Lucille's piloting. You never really know. They don't really tell you. You just like show up wherever. In this case, it's the ship, and it has rail systems inside the vessel. The doors are open and the rails connect, and it can hold 6 troopers on a side. So the 3 of you come in, chung chung chung, get and are like suspended on these racks inside the ship. To port and starboard, there's a central section that can hold any PC or gear and stuff. There are cargo boxes in here that are all like sealed up and stowed away. There's netting and stuff holding everything in place, and it looks like what you've seen before. I mean, you've all seen this before, but Pasternak, like very recently, you took a load of this shit to the planet to like it has like auto builder wall things that snap apart, these like shitty ballistic plastic things that you put up as a temporary solution while you build barriers out of dirt and stuff, and then do all that crap. So it's what you would expect for this mission, and it's enough stuff for the platoon to get busy with, but there's not enough of you obviously to really do much work here.
Do we see the other 3?
Sorry, say again.
Do we see the other 3? No, in the briefing.
No, it's just the 3 of you in the ship.
And Chief.
Yeah, so Lucille, she's up front. It's a 2-seater, but she's by herself, which is pretty common. She keeps the communicating door open. There's like some little steps. Most pilots shut it and never talk to you. Hers is always open, and she kind of like looks over her shoulder when you guys rack in. And she nods at Sergeant Young. She's like, "Okay, where's everybody else?"
Not sure. Kind of a light load today, Chief.
Yeah. She has an actual like clipboard. She unvelcros it from her thigh holder and like pulls it up and is like, I mean yeah, okay. It just says okay, good enough. She velcros it back.
Hey Sarge, who were those 3 assholes in gray?
Do I know?
Test NFA. You might. It's possible. It's somewhat unusual, but
Nope.
Oh.
All I say is some assholes, apparently.
So
I'm gonna look at.
I nod enthusiastically. Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Pasternak, and I'm gonna say one of the things you learn, Trooper, is that sometimes shit around here just don't make sense. Keep your head down. Keep your gun loose. We'll make it out of this.
I'm going to take out a stick of radium gum and start chewing and blow a big, bright, sort of glowing bubble.
Nice. You like open your visor, like chunk.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
That's the spirit.
Go over to Goodman. Gum.
I opened my mouth and I'm already chewing. But
helps your ear popping.
So as you're doing that, the dropship, the interior lights, they go from amber to red, and the whole thing just goes tung and like rotates 45 degrees. And Pasternak, like you rock back, next to your attachment point, and it vibrates. The back doors of the dropship are sealed. Lucille's like, okay, stand by, and you hear the like atmosphere being purged. So you your visor like dunk, put it down. You can see over Lucille's shoulder out the front of the dropship. You're looking at these 2 big doors, and they slowly start to open, and the bright light from the planetary surface comes through. The sun bouncing off it. Daisy is. Have I rolled for Daisy yet? I haven't rolled for it. I'm gonna roll on one of 316's many awesome tables.
Yeah.
See what you see.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Okay. So it is very mountainous, which makes sense for Valley 4.
You said it was a desert, right?
It's like it's not a desert exactly, but it's
Badlands.
It's the arid mountainous.
I'm thinking like Afghanistan.
Yeah. Yep.
Death
Yeah,
Valley.
okay.
Death Valley.
Okay.
Like yep. That's the part of the planet anyway. There's other
Yeah,
biomes
course.
probably, but
Right.
Are there, or is it one?
well,
biome
not
per
necessarily.
planet?
Yeah, it
We're in
depends.
90s sci-fi here.
Typically, it's one biome per planet, but you never know. This is the sector that you're looking at right now. And the Euphrates is fairly low orbit. Like you can make out peaks and clouds and things. And so Lucille, like the amber spinny warning light starts flashing, and you're ready for her to like disconnect, turn off the gravity, and boost and drop out for the planet, which is what she normally does. But she's going through her checklist, right? She's like flipping the 3 switches over her head like every pilot does, and doing the other stuff. But her board, you can kind of see that she's like flipping on different systems. She gets down to one of the last set of systems, and she stops. She's like, "Son of a bitch!"
Problem, Chief?
Yeah. This is weird. Hang on. And she flips on her like ship comm. You can hear it in your headset. Lieutenant Miller, this is Warrant Officer. What's her last name? What's Lucille's last name?
Lucille.
Rivera is her name.
Luth.
This is Warrant Officer Rivera, Lieutenant. Yeah, and he comes on. This is Miller. He's like, is this for real? We're supposed to turn off our IFFs? He's like, those are the orders. It's like, okay.
Our IFFs are our field identifiers, right?
It's your identify friend or foe transponder. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so like if you fire your gun, it shouldn't hit the ones that are labeled green.
Yeah. I don't think your technology is that smart per se, but it will, like, you know, if someone's about to bomb your position, you know, it would tell them that you're there. Or if you are making a radio call or something, it would like handshake correctly, so you would know that it was a trusted, you know, source and that kind of stuff. Maybe there are like smart guns that someone has, but you guys don't have smart guns.
I mean, I hear that. I'm super cool with it, John. I want to look over to Pasternak real quick, and I say, have you ever flown with the Chief before?
Have I?
It's up to you. It's possible.
Yeah, I think so.
Isn't she the best, man? She plays only the hits, and like, you know, I'm just like, chill. I'm just waiting for it, right?
Yeah, she's gonna.
I trust her. I trust her completely.
I think you two have a thing where, like, just before the drop, you know, she's gonna patch into your suit radio so you can play whatever the fuck.
Yeah. I mean, like ride the Valkyrie stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like you're coming in. Yeah.
So it hasn't happened yet. So she disconnects from the lieutenant, and she switches to ship comm, like just on board the dropship, and she goes, "Okay, everyone, you heard the lieutenant. Everyone." She like does something up front, and you see part of her board go red, and then it flashes, and she punches in a code and hits it again, and it flashes again, and she punches in a code and hits it again, and then it stays red. And she's like, "Okay, you heard the lieutenant. Everyone who wants their IFFs off, enter your suit's command code now, and I'll run it. I'll patch it through the uplink."
Yep, mine's off.
Who's going to put in their command code so that she can turn your IFFs off? Does everybody do it?
I'm looking to the sergeant. See if the sergeant does it.
Yeah, I think I'd do it, but it's not immediate. You see a moment of consideration, and then while we're still on internal comms, I say, I actually don't like. I know that she prefers to be called Chief, and like formally she's Warrant Officer Rivera. But I say,
Lucille is fine.
I say, Lucy, how many drops have we done? 19 now.
Yeah.
I say, does this smell weird to you?
Sure does.
I say, you know, I don't usually call for evac, but You keep those engines hot for me, okay?
Always hot and ready for you, baby.
And then I put my code in.
Okay, yeah, you put it in, it says like warning, an exterior system is attempting to turn off your IFF system. Do you authorize this use? And you have to like put it in again,
Yeah.
and confirm. And everyone does this, I assume. Are you, yes, we're all.
I was starting to do it as soon as the sergeant said it.
All right, okay. So you confirm it. All your suit lights go green, go red.
Yeah.
It's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, government, hit it. And she switches to your like suit radio iPod equivalent thing that you have, the cassette player that you have plugged into your suit.
Yeah, and I think over whatever like Blue Oyster Cult or whatever we're playing, I also speak over to Pasternak and I say like, welcome to the Butchers, man. Like, one thing you gotta like good work following along here. One thing you gotta know about us is that we're all mad here, and like we're just ready and amped.
Yeah. Then the Who.
Yeah.
Boom. The dropship hits. Everyone gets rocked back. And
I think that there's a moment when the plane turns off the artificial gravity and we go to like the 0G portion of the drop.
Yeah.
And you see the Sarge actually like exhale and like look like she's got this like stiffness to her like constantly. And this is like the only time you see her actually like relax.
When the gravity turns off.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
Here we go again.
Yep. You have like 3 seconds of blissful 0G, and then she hits the burners, and the thing just goes boom and goes rocketing straight towards the planet.
Yeah.
And you're pinned back in your seats.
Next stop, Wonderland, boys and girls. And
cool. Well, oh geez, we're right on time for that's a good break point.
Yeah, exactly.
That was an accident.
Well done.
Yeah, boosting for the planet, and we'll take our next break. And then we'll come back for our final hour. We're only doing 3 hours today, and we'll actually do some 316 in.
Yes, our first mission. Cool, awesome. Yep. So don't go anywhere, everyone. We'll be back in 6 minutes. So stay tuned, and we'll see you on the other side of the break.